Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited again for today's video. I know I say that every time, but I put like a lot of good talking points into this one, so I think it's going to be really good. And it is about how to avoid toxic relationships. So I think that probably every one of us have been in a toxic relationship at some point. And I don't really know why it's become such a thing nowadays. I think that a lot of factors come into play when it comes to why relationships are just so much more complicated than they need to be these days. But yeah, I get DMs and I get like messages all the time from girls asking me for advice on like their toxic relationship or just explaining to me like how they were in a toxic relationship. And so I want to help you guys avoid toxic relationships as a whole going forward. And I have taken a lot of these points from my own life and my own like previous relationships and just things that I learned that I don't want to ever happen again. And I think that sometimes in life you have to make the mistakes in order to learn from them, and that's totally okay. But let's get into how to avoid a toxic relationship. All right, so I want to start from the foundation and kind of work our way up to a relationship. So I think that the foundation of not only a relationship, but of most things in life is knowing how to love yourself and having self-confidence. Because if you don't have self-love and self-confidence, you are going to be constantly seeking that validation from other people, which means that you're going to settle for people and you're going to settle for relationships that aren't right for you. So when you have a low self-worth and low self-confidence, you are going to be constantly looking for somebody to feed your ego and to tell you you are good enough, you are a great person, like you do deserve this, you are attractive, whatever, basically to feed your ego. And that's not good because that's going to have you settling for relationships and for partners who really aren't right for you. So when I was single and I wanted a boyfriend, I didn't want to be single anymore, but I knew that I couldn't just settle. I would rather be single than settle for somebody who I knew wasn't right for me. So yeah, a lot of guys tried to take me on dates and I would, give them a chance, but I didn't see it going anywhere. And so I never made it happen. Like I never pursued it. And that's part of the reason why I'm in such a good relationship now, because I was patient and I knew I had enough self-confidence to know that the right person is going to come along for me and I don't need to just settle for whoever offers themselves to me now. So yeah, you need to have self-confidence, and this goes hand in hand with that, but you need to be okay on your own. Like you need to be able to be single, because yeah, I wanted a relationship when I was single, but I was still okay being single. Like I knew that I wasn't just gonna force something to happen or settle for somebody who wasn't right for me, because in the end that's a total waste of time and it prevents you from meeting the right person. But yeah, you need to be okay on your own, because if not, like I said, you're going to keep settling for people. And so many girls come to me with the excuse saying, well, I'm just a relationship girl. Like, I just love to be in a relationship. And yeah, I love to be in a relationship too. Like, I think a lot of girls are relationship girls. It's just kind of a biological instinct. But that doesn't mean that you are going to be in a relationship with every guy that comes your way. You have to be okay and be patient and just know how to be single. And I want to make a whole other video that goes into detail on how to live being single and how to be fulfilled and happy while being single, but that is a discussion for another time. But yeah, the next point is very important, and that is that you need to know your worth and you need to know what you're bringing to the table in a relationship. Because if you don't know what value you have, what your worth is, and what you're going to bring to the table in a relationship, you are going to get taken advantage of. And it's going to make it so easy for a toxic person to manipulate you, to gaslight you, to make you feel like you bring nothing to the table, to make you feel like you aren't good enough. And they're just going to have such an easy time being able to twist things and manipulate you and make you feel like you're doing nothing. When in reality, you probably are the healthy one in the relationship. So you need to know what your worth is, what you're bringing to the table, whether that's loyalty, affection, compassion, support, companionship, whatever it is. You need to figure that out. And you need to figure out, okay, this is what makes me special. This is what I'm good at. This is what somebody else will love about me. And you need to really know those things and fully, be able to defend those things and make sure that you are bringing them to the table in a relationship. Because, like I said, if you don't know these things, you're going to get taken advantage of. Now, you need to know what you want out of a relationship as well. And these all connect. All of these points connect because, like I said at the beginning, if you can't be alone and you can't take the time alone to figure all of this stuff out, then what's going to happen when you get into a relationship? It's going to be toxic. So you really need to take the time to figure out what you want to get out of a relationship. You need to know what your non-negotiables are. Like, what are your boundaries? What is something that is like, if the person does that, you just can't be with them anymore? Like, things like that. Like, what are your non-negotiables? Maybe to some people it's, I don't know, like, I would say cheating. Like, if somebody cheated on me, I wouldn't want to be with them anymore. But I know for everybody it's different. So you really need to figure out, like, what it is for you. Like, what are your non-negotiables for you? And you need to figure out what you expect. What do you want? Like, how do you want to be treated? What to you is a healthy relationship? If you don't even know what a healthy relationship is to you, then how do you expect it to be healthy? Like, how do you expect it to go right and to go good? So, like I said, you really need to take the time to figure this stuff out. Now, you need to know how to pick them, and you need to look for the red flags. This one is also extremely important because if you don't know how to pick them and you're going for toxic people who are wounded and who show you all of the red flags, you're probably going to end up in a toxic relationship. So don't wonder why you're in a toxic relationship where you feel unfulfilled and you feel unhappy when the guy you're with is a total, just not a good guy. He's not a gentleman. He doesn't treat you with any respect. He showed you all the red flags and you just chose to ignore them. If you do that, you're obviously going to be in an unhappy and toxic relationship. Like, if you're unhappy before the relationship even starts, that's probably a bad sign. So you really need to know what kind of character traits you want from a man. Like, what to you defines a high value man, and just what in general defines a high value man. Like, is this man pursuing you? Does he talk about his exes all the time? Does he talk about how he cheated on his exes? Does he want to hide you? Does he not want to show you to any of his friends or his family? Does he not communicate to you? Does he not give you any certainty? Does he not know how to make decisions? Is he hitting you up every night at 2 a.m. to come over when he's tired and he wants a girl, but he doesn't ever want to take you out on a date? He never wants to actually get to know you. He doesn't really care. He only wants to benefit from you. So you really need to look for the red flags, because if you choose to ignore the red flags, like I said, you are going to be in a toxic relationship. Like, I know girls think that, oh, I can fix him, and they have this urge to want to fix a guy. But save yourself the hassle. Certain things can be fixed, but if he is showing you all the red flags, it's not worth it. And this, again, connects back to the first point I made about self-confidence, because if you don't have self-confidence, you're going to settle for this because you're going to think, oh, this is what I deserve. This is what I'm worthy of. This is what love is. But if you put all the other pieces in place, you're going to know that it's not at all what you deserve and it's not at all healthy. And now you need to evaluate yourself and you need to make sure that you're ready for a relationship. Like, you need to do the work. So you need to ask yourself, A, are you over your previous relationships if you've had previous relationships? Don't just jump into a relationship as a rebound to try and get over your ex, because it never works and it's not fair to the other person. So you really need to ask yourself, are you over your ex? You need to ask yourself, do you truly love yourself? Does your happiness stem from within? Because if you are constantly looking for somebody else to make you happy, that is not what love is. That is putting all of the responsibility and all of the pressure on another person to make you happy. When in reality, your happiness should be coming from within, and you should be filling up your cup and overflowing it into the other person's cup. Like, you shouldn't be looking for another person to constantly be filling you up. You have to notice that if that's the way you feel and that's the way you are in life, you have to work on yourself and you have to do that work internally, because if you don't, your relationships are going to keep failing. And you need to ask yourself, do you play the victim in every situation? Are you secretly addicted to the ups and downs of a toxic relationship? Are you aware of your ego? Are you constantly looking to feed your ego? Are you actually looking for a healthy relationship? Or do you just tell yourself that or think that, but you turn every relationship you have into a toxic relationship? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself, because if you don't even want a healthy relationship, if you're not even ready or capable of having a healthy relationship, obviously it's not going to be healthy. So the main advice that I have for you guys is that you need to take time alone by yourself and to not settle. Because if you settle, A, you're not going to have the time to figure out all of these things and to really figure out yourself as a person, what you want, and you won't have the time to really heal yourself. And yeah, you need to just know what to look for in a partner, what you want out of a relationship, just everything I said in this video. It is so important, guys, that you don't just get into relationships with people that are going to waste your time, that are going to negatively impact your mental health, and that are just going to bring you down. You know, life is short. Life is too short for that, and you are too good for that. And at the end of the day, relationships are supposed to be something that helps you and that makes you better. And it's supposed to be two people helping each other and making each other, you know, like just benefiting each other. It's not supposed to be this toxicity, draining each other, constantly crying, constantly questioning, constantly anxious. Like, that is not okay. And you should not have to feel like that. So please, if you are in a toxic relationship, I really hope that you watch this video and question if you should really be in that relationship. And if you are just a girl watching this who is single and is at home, I hope that this helped give you some comfort and helps you know that there are good guys out there and that you will find them, and that I promise you your patience and your hard work and everything you're doing to make yourself a better person is not going unnoticed, and it is all going to be worth it. So don't lose faith, don't give up, and yeah, it's all going to work out. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe. I really appreciate all of your support, and making these videos is so fun. And if I could just help one girl out there, that's literally all that matters to me. So yeah, if you enjoyed it and you want to keep seeing more, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.